Decision Plus has been and still is a leading stock market service provider. From training to coaching, we cover it all. Try both our software as well as our coaching site, completely free for 10 days without obligation. No credit card is needed to sign up for the trial. The trial subscription will be automatically canceled for you at the end. DecisionPlus.com, your stock market service center. Real-time coaching has been created. We search and classify critical reports and technical movements. You can visualize or hear the best buying and selling opportunities. Get real-time advice all day long and 3 live coaching shows per day. Let us do the work and save your time for trading. Try marketgurus.tv free without obligation for 10 days in the menus above. Market Vision Plus is the trading companion of so many investors. Make your fundamental and technical analysis easy with Canada's #1 stock market decision-making software. Research, decide, and follow your positions with Market Vision Plus. See the menus just above this program and try Market Vision Plus for 10 days without any obligation after the show. When it comes to day trading, Trader Plus is the right tool. Track 50 quotes simultaneously. Create dozens of quick lists. Display as many as 30 real-time intraday charts at the same time. Watch the action with candlesticks or bar charts as fast as 10 seconds. See the market by sectors. Use the chart models already prepared for you. Try Trader Plus for 10 days in the menu above without any obligation.
Hello everybody, welcome to the Swing Trading Show. Today we're Wednesday, May 20th, 2015. The question bar is open, folks. If ever you have any questions, feel free to ask them. I'm laughing today simply because there's one stock I'm going to show you, which is our day trade of the day. It has been recommended since this morning on marketgurus.tv, and there's a particular word that I love when those of you who participated in that stock did a good job, because you can say really ching ching. So I'm going to keep that for the later during the show, but right now let's focus on the markets. So market situation is again boring situation, a situation where we are bounded within this downward triangle on the Nasdaq, within this downward triangle as well on the Dow Jones, on the TSX, where we're unable to go higher than this resistance here. And right now on the TSX doesn't mean that at this point we might not have a rebound. So it's a market situation where we have some volatility, but this volatility is really not enough to allow either index, the Nasdaq, the Dow Jones, the TSX, nor even the SPY, to actually start a clear bullish cycle, neither a clear bearish cycle. So we believe that the best strategy when we have this market volatility that continues to make markets stuck within their neutral range, that for swing trading, it's really a no-go. Now let's make a follow-up, first of all, concerning the resources sector that were really weak yesterday, especially energy stocks. On marketgurus.tv, we did recommend some exposure on the energy sector, but we also have been able in marketgurus.tv to recommend a profit-taking opportunity on a bearish exposure that we have recommended previously. For instance, WTI on marketgurus.tv was recommended as a short, as an analyst choice in our analyst choice portfolio on May 15. Yesterday, we took some profit with the decline, and right now we're watching to see if the stock could retest 490, which is that important support. Around this point, we're going to take some profit. We also did recommend another stock as a short, but on the TSX this time. It was yesterday. It was Kelt Exploration. Kelt Exploration today has a rebound because the energy sector has been responsible for the rebound that we have seen on the TSX around here. And this rebound in the energy sector, though, was not enough to allow us to close that positions on Celt Exploration, because it was recommended as a short here. And when should you close the short positions? That's whenever we have the reversal of a downward trend. And that downward trend that connect this top here has not been reversed. So as long as the stock remains below 879, 880, there's no need to close that short positions. There have been some opportunities to day trade the energy sector. For instance, oil here has a slight intraday rebound, but it's really a fragile one because look, oil is still unable to reverse that downward trend though. So we need to go above $20 to confirm a strength of a bullish momentum on oil that could bring it towards 2050. If we go below 1950, the situation is going to be really negative for energy stocks. So far, this rebound just brings the energy sector within a slight neutral cycle. So we're still neutral, no new buying neither selling signal for swing trading, because as long as the sector remains neutral, we don't think it's appropriate to do so. There have been some stocks that rebounded, such as Petro Exploration, Penwest Petroleum, Precision Drilling. Actually, that stock could potentially start a breakout, but right now it remains neutral. So if it goes above 864, but even if it goes above 864, there's a top here at 941 that we have tested several times. So we might just break it out and test 964 and just stabilize again or have another correction. So in terms of the potential, it's kind of really limited for a stock like Precision Drilling. In terms of the sector's movement today, folks, there's only gold here. Well, it's not a sector movement. It's only a slight rebound in gold because Greece says that they will not be able to pay $1.5 billion to the IMF. But Greek government say that they're close to to have an agreement with their creditors, but the creditors say that they're not so sure. And this battle here creates some volatility on gold. So the gold sector here, there's some stocks that just resumed their bullish momentum, such as Centera Gold. B2 Gold is on the verge of breaking out. They got a credit facility renewed, so more money for them. Nova Gold Resources also resuming its bullish momentum. So some stocks in the gold sector are resuming their bullish momentum, but it's really not a situation that's ideal to open new position for swing trading. So welcome back, folks. Now, in terms of the news that we have, there's one news concerning China that will invest $50 billion in Brazil in the energy infrastructure mining industry. So if we take a look at the Brazil ETF, the ETF is not even moving on that news. Bank of England, all the members, they kept rates unchanged at 0.5%. We have the FOMC minutes, but we don't expect any volatility concerning the FOMC minutes today. I want to bring your attention, there's one news on the one stock here, Yingli Green Energy. Yesterday, the stock went down because there were some concerns that the stock might not pay its debt. Today, the stock said that we have the resources to pay our debt. And the stock was good for day trading. What we said in Market Gurus that TV is that if you want to day trade that stock, well, you buy it at 115. I was expecting 130 as a target for Yingli Green Energy. We slightly reached it and we went down. So that was the short-term gain to be made in like Yingli Green Energy. And why 130 is because by putting a Fibonacci retracement from that top to that bottom here, you see that 130, it corresponds to the 38.2% Fibonacci retracement. So we reached that and we went down. So it was purely for a day trading opportunity. And I think when there's some concerns that the company cannot pay its debt, well, it's a stock you should definitely continue to avoid, but worth for day trading. Other news that we have really no news except for Slice, which is a company that we have hosted several times. And Slice, they announced that they made an agreement with a company called Photon, and they will be their provider for visual mobile research system. So Hello is asking us a crash for October 2015. Why a crash? Look, the economy so far in terms of the positive data that are going on in the economy, most central banks, big central banks, Japan, ECB, Fed, Bank of Canada, Bank of Australia, are all following a loose monetary policy. So this is something that's good. Employment in the US going up slightly. Wages are not spiking up, which is negative, but still there's some more jobs that are being created. And Canada, the growth is so-so, not that much, because there's certain of the Canadian dollars not allowing exporters to do well in the world markets to export their products because Canadian dollar is still expensive. The decline of oil has impacted a lot of energy companies. So this is something negative for Canada in terms of the employment report. In the Eurozone, well, we have economic data that have been better than expected in the last reading. So can this trend continue? It could be. The only big risk I see is possibly with Greece, exiting the Eurozone. But a lot of investors expect that there will come to an agreement, because what we have seen is that a lot of money has been flowing into Europe, because with this good data that came out recently, well, investors expect those data to continue to do well. So if ever Greece goes out, well, a lot of investors will have exposure to the Eurozone, and we don't know how it's going to impact it. So this is possibly a crash I would see. In terms of China, well, we all know that the Chinese government has the resources. They're trying to stimulate the economy. So I don't think there's going to be a crash. I might be wrong, but fundamentally speaking, by looking at all the news that we have, the economic indicators that we have, I think we might have markets where we actually stay neutral or not grow as much as we have seen in the last 2 to 3 years, as long as we do not have a wage hike, as long as we do not have a pursuit of the great economic indicators in Europe, and also the Chinese economy starting to actually have more loans made to their companies. So those, I think, are the factors you should focus on. And so far for me, 2015 looks okay. I don't expect a crash. Now, Michel Bombardier at 279, keep or sell. Well, so far Bombardier to keep. Right, the stock stays neutral. You're betting that the stock is going to do well. We know they have a lot of challenges for Bombardier. Well, for me to keep, I think if you're buying Bombardier right now, you're more for medium to long-term investors. The company expects to sell more airplanes. The company, we know that they cut costs, and they have a new CEO which did a good job at its former company. So that might help, but you know, Bombardier has a lot of challenges, right? And the love story with analysts has almost come to an end. Now it's mostly a lot of retail investors who have Bombardier, such as you. So for me, it's a hold as long as the stock can remains above 234, 233, because it's still within a big neutral range for Bombardier. But really, if it goes below 233, 230, get out of Bombardier.
Find answers to your questions by emailing your host at btm@decisionplus.com.
5 good reasons to manage your investments with National Bank Direct Brokerage. Commission fees fixed at $9.95 anytime for all clients and starting at only $6.95 for active investors. No administrative fees if you hold at least $20,000 in your accounts. Registered accounts available in U.S. currency. Powerful tools to help you manage your portfolio. Award-winning customer service and satisfaction levels amongst the highest in the industry. To learn more, visit nbdb.ca or call us now.
Real-time coaching has been created. We search and classify critical reports and technical movements. You can visualize or hear the best buying and selling opportunities. Get real-time advice all day long and 3 live coaching shows per day. Let us do the work and save your time for trading. Try marketgurus.tv free without obligation for 10 days in the menus above.
Now let's take on questions here. Jules has an interesting question about INP, and that's typically of a question where can you get in, should you get in a second movement on INP? For me, INP, Jules, far too gone. I was looking at this morning at $3 things. What do I think of it? Well, I think if you want to buy it for INP, I think it still can represent a good opportunity for INP. It's a second day movement because the breakout happened here. We couldn't put it in the breakout on marketgurus.tv because it was too tight, right, yesterday. But today it's a second day movement. The things I like, 10 day above the cross is above, the 10 days above the 30-day moving average, a good thing. MACD just leaving the oversold situation, has some room to go before it reach the overbought situation. Histogram positive, stochastics making a higher bottom, which is positive also. So the momentum indicators are bullish. Stock is clearly maintaining an upward trend, had the clear long sideways formation, so it's bullish. Now, As an exit point, it's becoming tricky because the exit point normally should be below 275 on the reversal of this upward trend. But if you're buying right now and put your exit point at 275, it becomes such a big loss potential. So what I would do, I would suggest you on Market Vision software, you can put a 30-minute period, 200-minute, 30-minute, 250 period, and you can take a look to give it more perspective. So instead of putting your exit point at 275, I think the safest one will be if ever we break all of this important resistance of May 11, 12, 13, and 14. So if the stock goes below 295, you'll close that position. So for me, that's a strategy you could use when it's a second day movement and when the stop loss becomes so big, more than 10%, more than 7%, until the stock breaks its support. So 295, 298 as an exit point if you're buying that stock today, but it's a second day movement. And I love the momentum indicators on that stock. Now, GK, you bought SPXU, right? So you bought SPXU. SPXU, it's an ETF that we still have in our analyst shorts portfolio on marketgurus.tv, right? We still have it. As long as this ETF remains neutral, right? Doesn't go below 32, 34. There's no need to close that bearish ETF. Now look at the SPY though. The SPY, it's still totally neutral. SPY is overbought, right? If you take a look at here at the stochastics, overbought. A lot of sectors remain neutral on the SPY, which so far it's tough to tell. We could actually have either the continuity of this Saturday formation or a further correction, but we don't think you should rush your move to close your positions in the SPY. I think the only what's going to trigger us closing our positions on SPXU is if ever we could have a clear bullish cycle on the SPY higher than 214 with more sectors in a bullish cycle with more breakouts. This recent rally that we have seen here, we have not seen a lot of breakouts on the SPY, and really we didn't really recommend a lot of long exposure throughout this rally. So we were hesitant about this rally, and so far I think that you should continue to wait for it, because right now we have a neutral formation that continues to persist on the SPY, so there's no need to close that positions. Now, Tom, why is there no news about ppmd on Market Vision? Well, Market Vision, it's because of our supplier. So our supplier sometimes doesn't give us the news, because Market Vision, the way it has been set up is that there's Market Newswire, Canadian Newswire, that is our supplier, I think. And not all companies, especially American companies, not all of them publish through Canadian Newswire. If we had to add more sources, well, it's going to cost more, right? And we want to keep actually our price competitive. So this is one of the reasons why it's not on Market Vision. As an alternative, Tom, one thing I would suggest you to do is that whenever you have a stock that's breaking out, you don't see the news on Market Vision, go to Google Finance. You see Google Finance here, you type PBMD, I have Prima Biomed. I take a look at this stock here and I have one news here. And what's the news on Prima Biotech? Well, what they said is that they reported that the phase 3 for their ovarian cancer clinical trial has shown a significant trend of improvement of survival. So this is why the stock went up. And actually this stock here is our day trade of the day. It has been recommended on marketgurus.tv since opening. Several entry points on that stock. Right now with a 285% increase, if you have not gotten in this morning, getting in today, I think it's kind of too risky for a stock like that. But it's worth to be watched tomorrow. If you can get in today, tomorrow see if the stock can actually maintain its increase, and that might continue to be a stock that's remained active. Now, is it a good move to buy PBR? Well, buying PBR, I think the stock so far has not, well, there's still that opportunity there. Is it a good move to buy it? For me, only if it goes above 1030. Yes, they're trying to come out clean, but they're not all clean. We don't know when the Chinese government is going to invest $7 billion in PBR, because that's what they commit to do. So yes, there are some opportunities because they have some great assets. They make money, but they have a problem to managing their costs, right? They're not as profitable as other major companies. And but Petrolero Brasileiro at these prices could be definitely a bargain. But let's stay technical and let's wait for the stock to break that resistance of 1030. If it does break 1030, well, if we put the Fibonacci retracement Well, we see that if it breaks 1030, the new targets then become 1244 on Petrolero Brasileiro. But right now, I think you should stay technical and not get into that stock right now as long as you do not have a clear break of 1030. But it's really a stock worth to watch. It's at a bargain compared to its peers, but the stock needs to do more effort to come cleaner, leaner, make some profit, and actually allow investors to get confidence back into this company so that those fraud allegations won't happen again. There's several questions, folks. I don't have time to take them, but I'll take them tomorrow. So Paul, Susie, I'll take your questions tomorrow. And for today, folks, I think it's a market situation that's tough, neutral, boring. You should hold on to most of your positions. So far on the energy sector on the Canadian side, a slight rebound, but it's better to day trade that sector. The sector is just neutral. No opportunities for swing trading. If you had some gold stocks and you already closed them yesterday, I don't think you should worry if ever the gold sector is going up slightly today. I think it's okay, and there will be some opportunities to buy gold stocks at another timing. But today, I don't think it's a timing to again buy gold stocks, expecting that the situation is going to worsen in Greece. And so far, in terms of the energy sector in the US, the decline continues. So if ever you've opened some short positions yesterday and you are able to take some profit on some of them, do it. So that said, see you tomorrow on the Swing Trading Show on decisionplus.com.